Auspicia Escala Clásica. Bardal, especialista en proteger motores.
Bienvenidos a un nuevo capítulo de Escala Clásica, una edición de colección en la que festejamos el 30 aniversario del auto que salvó a Volvo de la quiebra, el 760. Acomódense en sus sillones para disfrutar de estas imágenes inéditas.
Of course, we have a fine tradition behind us. Generations of cars whose concept and ideas were in the forefront at the time. But now we need something new. We're almost starting from the beginning again.
And so our story begins. The tale of how a car, still without a name, was born and developed. And yet not a single line has been drawn. The job of product planning is to determine the conditions for the car of tomorrow without paying any attention to Volvo's current production. Hans Gustafsson is named project leader and the work gets underway.
We traveled around the world and talked to many people connected with car development, economy, and communications. We began to get a picture of future requirements, tomorrow's consumer, legislation, and fuel supply. A car is not just an engine, gearbox, and four wheels. It's a number of interactive systems which must be designed across different departmental boundaries. A systems concept including both the parts and the whole.
It is now 1976. Rolf Melder brings up a subject which will set the tone for the entire project. The car of the 80s must be a totally economical car. The cost of a car includes more than just purchase price and fuel expenses. Low service costs, limited repairs, low insurance premiums, high trade-in value. More and more, these factors will determine the value of a car. For the first time, service demands enter a new car project right at the design stage. Work on exterior design is now underway. Volvo's chief designer for over 20 years, Jon Vilsgaard, is in charge.
We have a vision which naturally far exceeds what is possible. But we need that vision all the time to keep our perspective alive.
Of 50 sketches on a scale of 1 to 5, a handful will go on to become full-scale drawings. Length, height, axle width, number of doors, and the basic type of chassis are all fixed before sketching begins. But Jon Vilsgaard has sneaked in a sketch which does not follow the specifications in all aspects. And this idea will prove to have amazing power of survival. At first, a mere handful of people, then hundreds. Within the space of another year, there will be thousands working on this project, and all in deepest secrecy. October 1976. Two models, number 8 and number 12, have survived. This is the one that should win, but everyone likes the shape of Vilsgaard's cutback. What will become of it? Is it to be put on the shelf? Or shall the two be combined? We can't choose. At the end of the year, the managing director of Volvo, Mr. Per Gillenhammer, issues a warning. The private automobile market is showing signs of saturation. Market backlash will become more common. With reference to future competitiveness, we must aim for a degree of innovation far beyond Model 8. A working group is formed. All the know-how they need can be found within the company. The group is just going to start work. The group leader has an attack of lumbago at his country home outside Gothenburg and cannot be moved. So, if he can't come to the group, then the group will have to come to him instead. They work for 6 weeks in an empty barn, going through the project point by point. They agree that the new car concept is still valid, but how high can they aim? It is decided that the car will be a 5-seater sedan, but it must not weigh more than 1,350 kilos. It will have rear-wheel drive, and the air resistance must not exceed 0.40. The rear axle will have constant tracking, but be suspended by a subframe to hold the noise level down. A comfortable car, of course, but the idea of comfort is extended to involve driver and passenger ergonomics. Service must be easy. Plug-in parts easy to reach and easy to replace. A new series of basic engines is also approved, starting with improving the existing 6-cylinder and also developing new turbo and diesel turbo engines.
Frågan är om den här vagnen kan vara the dynamic car.
Model 12 is shown for the last time. The lining from the front to the rear wheels is carried over to Model 8. The cutback continues as an idea project for future development.
No se vayan, que ya seguimos con más Escala Clásica.